For the longest time, learning English felt like this huge, uphill battle, right? But in just the last few years, something massive has changed the entire game. We're talking about a complete revolution, and it's all powered by artificial intelligence. It's totally transforming how we learn. So let's dive in and see exactly how AI is making that journey to fluency smarter, faster, and believe it or not, so much easier than we ever thought was possible. I want you to do something for me. Think way back to language class. Can you remember that feeling? Your palms are getting a little sweaty, your heart's pounding, and the teacher's looking around the room, and you're just praying, please don't call on me. That fear of making a mistake in front of literally everyone. It's a feeling we all know, and for generations, it was one of the biggest roadblocks to actually making progress. And that's because the old way of doing things was just so rigid. Everybody in the classroom got the same textbook, the same boring dialogues, the same lessons. It didn't matter what your native language was, what you wanted to achieve, or how you learned best. It was this industrial model, It worked for the school, sure, but for you, the learner, it was often super inefficient and, frankly, just not very inspiring. And that, right there, is the heart of it all. The one-size-fits-all problem. It's probably the single biggest reason traditional language education could be so frustrating. But this is exactly where the AI revolution kicks in, by tearing that old model down completely. Let's get into how it works. Okay, so the first big pillar of this revolution is all about making learning fundamentally smarter. And I don't just mean a slightly better app on your phone. We're talking about a deep, hyper-personalization that creates a learning path that is 100% unique to you. So get this, your journey doesn't start with Chapter 1, Greetings anymore. No, it begins with an AI creating what we can call your linguistic fingerprint. It listens to you speak, it reads what you write, and from that, it builds this incredibly detailed, data-driven portrait of your English. It's a starting point that knows exactly where you are, your specific strengths, and your specific weaknesses. And the level of detail here, it's just mind-blowing. The AI doesn't just say, oh, you're bad at verb tenses. It'll know that you specifically have trouble using the present perfect. It won't just say you have an accent, it can pinpoint that you struggle to pronounce the TH sound in words like three and the. It maps everything, your vocabulary, your fluency, even how often you say or And here's where it gets really cool. Look at how that fingerprint translates into two totally different journeys. In an old school class, this German engineer and this Brazilian artist, they'd probably be in the same intermediate group. But the AI sees what a human might miss. The engineer's grammar is good, but his speech is choppy, so he gets drills to improve his rhythm and flow. The artist is fluent, but she makes the same few grammar mistakes over and over, so she gets tiny, targeted lessons to fix those specific errors. Two people, two completely different paths to success. And maybe the best part of all this smarter learning? It's that it's actually interesting. The AI figures out what you're passionate about. Maybe it's filmmaking or marine biology or cooking, and then it builds your lessons around those topics. Suddenly, you're not just learning English, you're using English to learn more about something you already love. That's a total game changer for motivation. All right, so that's smarter. Now let's talk about the second pillar, making learning fundamentally easier. For as long as people have been learning languages, the biggest hurdle has always been the practice problem. You can know all the grammar rules in the world, but if you don't actually speak, you'll never get fluent. And AI is solving that problem in a brilliant way. And honestly, this might be the biggest psychological breakthrough of all. The AI becomes your perfect conversation partner. It's available 24/7, it's infinitely patient, it never gets tired, and most importantly, it never judges you. It creates this safe, private space where you can just talk. You can make mistakes, you can sound silly, you can try things out, and that is the absolute key to building real confidence. So you might be wondering, okay, how does this actually work in practice? Well, it's incredibly simple. You decide what you need to work on. Let's say you've got a big job interview coming up. You just choose that scenario. You can select an AI persona, like a friendly or even a tough hiring manager. And then you just practice. You can do it 10, 20, 50 times until you feel totally prepared. It's practice that's actually useful for your real life. And this is brilliant. To get you ready for how English is actually spoken around the world, the AI can talk to you in all sorts of authentic accents. One day you could be chatting with someone with a thick Scouse accent from Liverpool, and the next you're trying to understand a fast-talking Australian. This trains your ear for the reality of English as a global language, not just the textbook version. Okay, so we've got smarter, we've got easier. The third piece of this puzzle is making learning faster.
And this is where you can really see progress just accelerate. It's all about creating a super tight, real-time feedback loop.
So picture this. You're talking, and you make a really common mistake. Something like this. Now, in the old days, what would happen? Maybe your teacher corrects you at the end of your sentence, or maybe they note it down and tell you tomorrow. By then, the moment's lost, and your brain has already started to wire in the wrong pattern.
But with AI, the correction is instant. Right as you're speaking, you get a gentle, immediate correction. It's not disruptive, it doesn't break your flow, but it's right there, in context, when your brain is most ready to learn it. This constant loop of try, get feedback, try again is the single fastest way to build accurate, automatic speaking habits.
And the pronunciation feedback is just as amazing. It can zoom in on the tiniest details. It'll show you the difference in your mouth position for ship versus sheep. It can show you on a graph where you're putting the stress on a word, like the difference between record, the noun, and record, the verb. It can even analyze the intonation, the actual music of your speech. This is a level of detail that used to be only for Hollywood actors with expensive dialect coaches.
And of course, this whole powerful feedback system applies to your writing too. We've moved so far beyond simple spell check. These new AI tools are like having a professional editor looking over your shoulder. They'll give you feedback not just on your grammar, but on your tone, your clarity, and your style. They'll help you make your business emails sound more professional or your text to a friend sound more natural.
So, when you hear all of this, an AI that can diagnose your problems, practice with you for hours, and correct every little mistake, it naturally brings up a really big, really important question about the people at the center of education.
With an AI that is this powerful and this personal, is there even a need for human teachers anymore? Are they going to become obsolete? It's a fair question, but the answer is not what you might think. The role isn't disappearing, it's evolving into something even more valuable. The role of the teacher is making this incredible shift. They're moving away from being the sage on the stage, the person who just stands at the front and gives you information. Instead, they're becoming the guide on the side. The AI can handle all the repetitive, mechanical stuff, the grammar drills, the vocab lists. That frees up the human teacher to do what humans do best, to be a coach, a mentor, and a cultural guide. And this right here, this is the new dream team. It's a perfect partnership. The AI handles the science of language, all the rules and the mechanics. The human teacher, they teach the art of communication. They're the ones who can teach you about humor, about how to be persuasive, about navigating tricky cultural situations. They teach you how to connect with another human being.
So, let's just pull all of this together. The big takeaway is that AI has completely reshaped what it means to learn English. It's made it smarter by personalizing everything to your specific needs. It's made it easier by creating a safe, pressure-free way to practice. And it's made it faster by giving you that instant feedback that helps you improve at a crazy speed.
Now, I want to be really clear about something. This isn't some magic pill. There's no shortcut that means you don't have to put in the work. You still have to put in the time and the effort. But the revolution is about empowerment. It's about making sure that every single minute of effort you put in is focused, it's effective, and it's pushing you forward as fast as possible.
Look, we are standing at the very beginning of a whole new era for learning, one that is creating a new generation of confident, fearless speakers all over the world. So much of the old frustration and the friction is just melting away. The future of fluency is already here. The only real question left is, are you ready to press start?